Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're looking at pottery, but maybe not how you usually think about it. Not just as art, but as a core technology.
Yeah.
Really, it's humanity's first big success in chemically changing natural stuff to make something completely new and useful. So our mission today is to look at this from three angles. How the tech evolved, what specific problems it fixed for people, and, well, the huge impact it had on societies.
Right. And it's a really long story. I mean, the idea that clay gets hard in fire, that goes way back, maybe middle Paleolithic, like 300,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But the very first fired object we know of, that Venus figurine from Dolní Věstonice, that's about 27,000 years old, and it seems purely ritual.
Okay, so not practical yet. When does it shift to being a tool, like a container for survival?
That's much later. The oldest actual practical pottery, fragments of containers comes from Xianren Cave in China. And that's dated to around 20,000, maybe 19,000 years ago. Quite amazing.
Wow, okay, so that leap from a ritual item to a useful pot, that's significant. What were the main hurdles? Durability, making them consistent.
Exactly. Early on, it was all hand forming. Really laborious stuff like just pinching the clay or coiling it up using strips of mud. Slab construction, too, sticking flat pieces together. And you see different styles develop, like coiling was big in North China, slabs more in the South. But these methods, well, they limited size and weren't always super strong.
Which must be why the potter's wheel was such a revolution.
Oh, absolutely. Specifically fast wheel technology. That shows up around 5,300 years ago, also in China. It was a massive breakthrough. Suddenly production efficiency jumps like dozens of times faster. You get uniform shapes and, importantly, much thinner walls. That saves material, makes pots lighter. Game changer.
Right, but the fast wheel creates another challenge, doesn't it? If you're making loads of pots quickly, you need to fire them effectively. That takes us to controlling the heat, the energy. We go from simple, kind of unpredictable open fryers, maybe 500, 700 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, heat firing, basically.
Up to proper horizontal kilns later in the Neolithic. Hitting 1,000 degrees Celsius consistently, that's serious chemical transformation, repeatable results.
And you needed the right recipe, too. Just high heat isn't enough if the clay itself can't take it. That's where material science comes in, specifically adding temper.
Temper, like sand or shell fragments.
Exactly. Sand, bits of bone, shell, whatever was available. Its main job wasn't just making the clay easier to shape, though it helped. The crucial thing, especially for cooking pots, was managing thermal shock.
Ah, so stopping it from cracking when you put it on the fire.
Precisely. Temper strengthens the clay structure against those rapid temperature changes.
Okay, so we've got faster shaping, better firing, stronger materials. This must have immediately changed how people lived. What core problems did pottery solve right away?
Fundamentally, survival needs. Processing food, think detoxifying certain plants or seeds, preserving food, and just basic storage. Being able to store food and water reliably long-term, that's huge.
And we see evidence for how they stored it, right? Like those jars at Xianren Cave, sealed up with beeswax.
Yeah, that's fascinating. They weren't just putting a lid on, they were actively creating a low-oxygen, high CO2 environment inside.
Which would slow down spoilage, keep seeds viable longer, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Inhibits microbial growth. It's a basic food preservation science figured out thousands of years ago.
So linking that tech to society, dependable storage really underpins settling down, doesn't it? It allows communities to become less mobile, more permanent.
It's foundational. Reliable food storage is almost a prerequisite for larger, settled or semi-settled communities to thrive.
And it's amazing that this wasn't just one place. People figured this out independently, right? China, West Africa, South America. Similar needs driving similar inventions.
Yes, multiple independent origins. But once invented or introduced, the idea spread remarkably fast.
How fast are we talking?
Well, in Europe, for example, farming and pottery technology moved together, covering something like 3,000 kilometers in just 300 or 400 years. Through migration, social contact, trade, it spread like wildfire.
So pottery really is this incredible story of technology meeting survival needs, solving problems, and triggering massive cultural shifts. A real masterclass in innovation.
It absolutely is. But here's a final thought to chew on. If this tech was so vital, so transformative, how is it that in some places, like parts of Polynesia, the knowledge of how to make pottery was actually lost later on?
Huh, that's yeah.
What does that tell us about how technology, culture, and the environment interact? Sometimes even critical knowledge isn't permanent. Something for you to think about.